The sky was dark. Smoke filled the air. A giant alien spaceship had crashed near Earth's secret military base. No one knew who was inside. Soldiers surrounded the area, waiting for orders. One man stepped forward, Jake Carter, a young soldier with sharp eyes and a brave heart. His commander gave him a simple order. Go in. Check for survivors. Be careful. Jake took a deep breath and entered the wreckage. The inside of the ship was strange. Glowing walls, floating lights, and quiet humming sounds. Felt alive. He moved slowly, holding his weapon tight. Then he heard something. A soft sound, like someone breathing. He followed it. He walked into a small room and stopped. His eyes widened. On the floor lay an alien woman. She had silver skin, long blue hair, and bright glowing marks across her body. She was unconscious and unclothed. Jake's face turned red. Oh no, I didn't mean to. Suddenly, the alien girl's eyes snapped open. She saw him. She screamed. She jumped up, covered herself with a metal sheet, and shouted in a strange language. Her voice was full of panic. Then she switched to English. You saw me? Like this? Jake raised his hands. I swear I didn't mean to. I thought you were hurt. The girl looked around, heart racing. You fool. You're not allowed to see a royal without armor. This is a sacred law. If anyone finds out, we both die. Jake blinked. Wait, what? Both of us? She stepped closer, eyes burning with anger and fear. You saw me unclothed, human. That means only two options. 1, we marry. 2, we get executed. Jake choked. Am married. We just met. It doesn't matter. This is law. My people will kill us if they know. You must say we are bonded. Mated. Husband and wife. Jake looked at her. She didn't seem like she was joking. Her body was shaking. Suddenly, voices came from outside. Human soldiers were getting closer. Zyra's eyes widened. If they see me now, they'll report everything. We have seconds. Jake looked at her, then at the door. He had no idea what was happening, but one thing was clear. If he didn't act fast, they'd both be dead. Fine, he said. You're my wife now, whatever that means. Zyra took his hand. Good. Now smile. And don't say anything stupid. The door burst open. Soldiers pointed their guns. Jake stepped in front of her. It's okay, he said calmly. She's with me. She's my alien wife. The soldiers stared, confused. Zyra nodded and added, yes, human marriage complete. No danger here. The soldiers slowly lowered their weapons. As they walked away, Jake whispered, this is insane. Zyra replied coldly, you've seen nothing yet, husband. Jake and Zyra walked through the smoking remains of the alien ship. Soldiers whispered and stared as the two passed. No one had ever seen a human and an alien holding hands like that. Jake leaned in and whispered, you really think they believe that? Zyra didn't look at him. It doesn't matter. You said we are bonded. That's all my people need to hear. Jake shook his head. I don't even know your name. She stopped walking. I am Princess Zyra Valtari, daughter of the High Empress of Etherian. You just married the most wanted royal in the galaxy. Jake froze. You're a princess? Of what? Space? Zyra narrowed her eyes. Yes, and now that you've seen me, like that, you are my mate. Jake sighed. This day just keeps getting better. They entered a private tent set up by the military. Inside, Zyra sat on a metal bench and wrapped herself in a thermal blanket. Her glowing skin dimmed slightly. Jake paced back and forth. Okay, let's figure this out. You said we're married now? Is there a ceremony? Paper? A space ring? Zyra looked up. Our bond is spiritual. Physical contact and declaration are enough. You held my hand. You claimed me as your wife. The ship recorded everything. Jake groaned. Perfect. So what now? Zyra's voice became serious. Now enemies will come. Jake stopped pacing. What do you mean? Zyra stood up. I escaped from my own people. They wanted to use me. turn me into a weapon. I ran away and crashed here. But once the Empire hears I bonded with a human, they will see it as betrayal. They will want us both dead. Jake stared at her. You're saying we're not pretending to be married anymore. We actually have to stay married. Or die. Zyra nodded slowly. Yes, unless you want to face a plasma blade to the throat. Jake sat down. Why me? Why not some space prince? Zyra looked at him, her voice softer now. Because you didn't shoot me. You didn't run. You tried to help me, even after seeing me without armor. That's rare. Even in my world. There was a moment of silence. Suddenly, Zyra's wrist lit up. A hologram appeared, showing a message in alien script. Her eyes widened. Jake looked over. What does it say? Zyra's voice dropped to a whisper. The bonding has been confirmed by the Council. They're sending ships to Earth. To investigate. Jake's face turned pale. So, we just made things worse? Zyra nodded. Yes, much worse. 3 days had passed since the accidental marriage between Jake and Zyra. The world didn't know anything. The military called it a security incident. But something strange was happening at the base. Visitors were arriving. Not human ones. Jake stood beside Zyra as a black shuttle landed on the runway. Its doors opened with a hiss. Out stepped a tall, smooth-skinned alien dressed in royal black robes. His eyes were golden and cold. Zyra stiffened. Jake leaned in. Friend of yours. Zyra whispered. That's Lord Vector, royal advisor. And a killer. Jake blinked. We're greeting a killer? Vector smiled as he walked toward them. Ah, Princess Zyra. Alive and bonded. To a human, no less. How unexpected. Zyra forced a polite smile. Lord Vector. Earth welcomes you. Jake gave a half-wave. Hi. I'm the human. Vector's golden eyes scanned him from head to toe. So this is the male who saw you in such a sacred state. Jake scratched his head. It was an accident. Vector chuckled. So many great disasters start with an accident. That night, a welcome dinner was held. Earth generals, alien diplomats. Jake sat next to Zyra, completely out of place in his borrowed uniform. The food was strange. Glowing fruits, sizzling cubes, and a drink that moved on its own. Zyra leaned close. Don't eat anything Vector gives you. Jake whispered back. Why? Because he's known for poisoning enemies with smiling eyes. Jake watched as Vector lifted a golden cup toward him. To our newest royal couple, he said. May your bond last long, or end quickly. Jake smiled awkwardly and didn't drink. Later, Jake sneaked out to get air. His head was spinning. Then he heard a sound. Soft footsteps behind him. He turned. Vector stood in the shadows, alone. You don't belong with her, human, he said coldly. Jake stayed calm. Maybe not, but I'm still here. You're weak. You're flesh. You're not royal. That bond will break you. Jake clenched his fists. She chose me. Vector smiled. No. She was desperate. Before Jake could reply, a sharp sound cut through the air. A laser knife sliced past Jake's cheek, missing him by an inch. Jake jumped back. But before Vector could move again, Zyra appeared, her eyes glowing blue. Touch him again, and I will tear your bones from your body. Vector lowered the blade. As you wish, princess. He disappeared into the shadows. Jake touched his cheek. I thought this marriage would be awkward, not deadly. Zyra helped him up. From now on, stay close to me. There are worse things coming. Jake nodded. Like what? Zyra looked at the stars above. Like my mother. Jake couldn't sleep. The base was quiet, but his thoughts were loud. He sat alone in the command room, staring at a blinking screen. Zyra was resting in the next room, but something about her didn't make sense. He typed her name into the secure database. Zyra Valtari. A loading bar appeared. Classified. Royal weapon, Omega level. Jake leaned forward. The file opened. His eyes scanned the words. Subject Zyra. Born through genetic fusion. Created by Etherian High Labs. Purpose: planet-level defense. Status: escaped. Threat level: extreme. Jake's heart sank. She wasn't just a princess. She was a weapon. The door behind him opened. Zyra stood there, silent. She had seen the screen. For a moment, no one spoke. "You read it," she said softly. Jake stood up. "You could have told me." Zyra looked away. "Would you have married me if you knew?" Jake paused. "I didn't exactly say yes, remember?" She gave a small, sad smile. "They made me in a lab. Not born, built. Royal blood mixed with machine code. I was trained to protect the Empire. I was also trained to destroy it." Jake tried to understand. "So, you're part human?" Zyra nodded. "Part everything. Human, alien, weapon. Emotion was not part of the plan. But somehow, I feel." Jake took a step closer. "And now they want you dead?" She looked at him. "They're afraid I'll choose my own path. That I'll love. That I'll become something they can't control." Jake whispered, "Is that what you're doing?" Zyra looked down. "I don't know. But I know I don't want to lose you." Before Jake could respond, a loud alarm rang through the base. "Warning. Unidentified energy spike detected." The floor shook. Lights flickered. A voice crackled over the speaker. "Commander to all units. There's something glowing above the base. It's her mother's ship." Zyra's face turned pale. "She's here." Outside, a massive silver ship hovered silently above the clouds. No weapons. No noise. Just presence. A royal voice echoed inside every mind. "Return my daughter. End the bond. Or Earth burns." Back in the room, Jake grabbed a blaster. "What do we do now?" Zyra's body began to glow. Her hands trembled. "If she breaks the bond forcefully, I'll lose control." Jake didn't understand. "Control of what?" Zyra looked at him with glowing eyes. "Of the weapon inside me." Suddenly, her voice changed. It echoed. Her feet lifted off the floor. Jake stepped back. "Zyra?" She spoke with two voices now, hers and something darker. "They activated me. It's too late." The air around Zyra became heavy. Jake watched in shock as her body floated above the ground. Her skin glowed white-blue. Her eyes had no pupils now, only light. Her voice echoed. "Emergency protocol engaged. Hostile force detected. Target, Earth." Jake shouted, "Zyra, stop. It's me, Jake." But she didn't respond. The weapon inside her had taken control. Her arms rose. Her fingers stretched open. Small glowing orbs began forming in the air around her, pulsing with energy. One touch and everything would explode. Jake ran forward, grabbing her wrist. The lights flickered. "Zyra, listen to me. You don't want to do this." She turned her head slightly. Something inside her fought back. For a second, her voice returned. Weak, human. I can't hold it. She's forcing the bond to break. Jake held tighter. "Then fight it. You're not just a weapon." The room shook. Outside, people screamed. The royal ship in the sky was powering up. Zyra fell to the ground suddenly, breathing hard. The glow faded a little. Her hands stopped shaking. "Jake, you slowed it down." "How?" He held her face gently. "Because I believe in you. And I think maybe you believe in me too." Zyra looked at him. "The bond. It's the key." "Then let's fix it," Jake said. "Tell me how." She struggled to speak. "We must complete the connection. It will reset my core." "But," Jake waited. "It could kill you." He smiled. "At this point, I think being your husband already signed me up for that." Suddenly, the door burst open. Soldiers, human and alien. One shouted, "Get away from her. She's dangerous." Jake stood in front of her. "She's not the enemy. She's the reason Earth is still alive." Zyra tried to rise, but her strength was fading fast. "We have maybe 24 hours. After that, the energy inside me will explode." Jake helped her up. "Then we do it. Whatever this connection ritual is, We finish it. Together. The alien soldiers looked at each other. One of them spoke. There is a sacred place, deep in the old ruins. If you reach it before the timer ends, there's hope. Jake nodded. Then we better start running. Later that night, Zyra sat quietly in the escape ship. Jake watched her from across the room. You okay? He asked. She gave a small smile. No, but for the first time, I want to be. He reached out and held her hand. Her body felt warmer, softer. The countdown on her wrist blinked. The small escape ship flew silently through the night sky. Inside, Jake sat near Zyra, watching her closely. Her breathing was slow, her eyes half open. She was fading. The countdown on her wrist blinked. 16 hours, 32 minutes, and 8 seconds. Every hour, the glow on her skin got brighter. The weapon inside her was waking up again. Zyra whispered, "We're close. The ruins are just ahead." Jake looked outside. In the distance, he saw ancient alien towers buried under sand. The place was dead quiet. No animals, no wind, just ruins half swallowed by the desert. They landed the ship. Zyra struggled to stand. Jake caught her arm. "Let me carry you." She nodded. Jake lifted her gently and walked through the broken stones and glowing symbols. Every step deeper into the ruins made the air feel heavier. Zyra opened her eyes weakly. This place is where I was made. The lab, the temple, the prison. Jake looked around. Creepy place for a honeymoon. Zyra smiled faintly. It's also where the bond ritual must be completed. If we finish it, I'll be free. But if it fails, the weapon activates. They reached a round chamber. In the center was a glowing platform. Zyra pointed. "Put me there. Then stand with me." Jake did as she said. The moment they stepped on the platform, it lit up with symbols. A voice filled the chamber. Cold. Robotic. Bond detected. Human and hybrid. Begin compatibility trial. Zyra whispered. "You must say the vow." Jake blinked. "What vow?" Zyra looked into his eyes. "Just speak from your heart. Mean it, or the system will reject you." Jake took a deep breath. He held her hand. "I don't know much about your world. I don't know how this happened. But I know this, when I saw you, I didn't see a weapon. I saw someone scared. Someone brave. Someone trying to be free. I don't care what you're made of. You're more human than most people I know. And if you're willing to fight, then I'll fight with you. Until the end." The platform glowed brighter. Zyra closed her eyes and whispered back. "And I accept you, Jake, as my bond, my anchor, my heart." The light exploded around them. Zyra screamed, not in pain but in release. All the glowing marks on her body vanished. The countdown stopped at 1 second, then disappeared. Zyra collapsed into Jake's arms. Did it work?" he asked. She opened her eyes. They were normal again. Soft. Alive. "Yes, you saved me." Before they could breathe, a deep voice echoed across the ruins. "Not yet." They turned. Standing in the shadow was Lord Vector. And behind him, dozens of soldiers with weapons aimed at them. Jake whispered, "Of course. Can't even finish a love story without a war." Dust blew softly through the ancient ruins. Jake stood in front of Zyra, protecting her with his body. She was weak, just barely healed after the bond ritual. Her power was gone. For now, in front of them stood Lord Vector. Taller, stronger, colder than ever. Behind him, dozens of alien soldiers aimed high-tech weapons straight at Jake. "You delayed the inevitable, human," Vector said, his voice smooth like poison. "The bond means nothing. I will end this here and now." Jake didn't move. "You want her? You'll have to go through me." Vector smiled. "Gladly." He raised his hand, and a blast of red energy flew toward Jake. But something happened. Zyra stepped forward. Her hand glowed faintly. She absorbed the blast. Her voice was quiet but strong. "You think I'm still your weapon? I choose my own future now." Vector's face changed. For the first time, fear. "You completed the bond. You truly merged. Zyra nodded. And I'm not alone anymore. Jake grabbed a fallen alien staff. He wasn't a warrior like them, but he had one thing they didn't. Something to protect. He charged. The battle was quick, wild, desperate. Zyra fought beside him, not with full power, but with skill. Jake blocked, punched, ducked, even took a hit to the shoulder. Blood ran down his arm, but he didn't stop. Together they pushed forward, back to back. One by one, enemy soldiers fell. Vector screamed, his voice turning monstrous. His arms turned into sharp energy blades. He flew at Jake. But this time, Jake was ready. He jumped forward and drove the alien staff deep into Vector's chest. The warlord fell to his knees, gasping. She was ours. She was meant to destroy. Jake looked down at him. She's not your weapon. She's my wife. Vector's eyes went dark. The battle was over. Hours later, as the twin moons rose above the ruins, Zyra and Jake sat on the edge of a cliff. Zyra rested her head on his shoulder. So, what now, husband? Jake smiled. Well, our honeymoon had murder, lasers, and alien ghosts. I think we've earned a vacation. Zyra chuckled softly. I don't have a planet anymore. Jake looked up at the stars. Then let's build one. She looked at him, surprised. You'd really leave Earth, for me? He nodded. You're my bond, my fight, my choice. Zyra leaned in, kissed him gently, and whispered, Then let's go. Before your people realize you just married the most dangerous girl in the galaxy. The two stood, hand in hand, as a small ship descended from the sky. A new journey was waiting. As the ship rose into the stars, a small message blinked on a nearby screen back at the base. Bond confirmed. Status true. Future unknown.